and welcome to Amy Hart's Mums Club. In this podcast, I'll be sharing the highs and lows of being a mum, plus each week I'll be joined by a special guest and together we'll delve into their experiences of parenthood. And that's not all. This podcast is for you. Every week I'll be answering your questions. If you've got a burning question that you want me and my gaggle of fabulous guests to answer, please email it to amyhartsmumsclub@news.co.uk and I will answer it ASAP. My guest today is a documentary maker, influencer and mum of soon to be 3. She sadly lost her husband Tom Parker from the Wanted 3 years ago, but she is here today to show you the courage and strength as a mother that she has needed to carry on as the matriarch of the family. So please welcome to Amy Hart's Mums Club, Kelsey Parker.
Can I clap myself?
Yeah, you can clap yourself. Always clap yourself. Well, first of all, congratulations. Like, how are you feeling? How is it different to your first 2 pregnancies?
Do you know what? The first 12 weeks, I'm not going to lie, were horrendous. But I didn't tell anyone. So it was actually quite good because I couldn't moan. I feel like it got me through it. I feel like if everyone knew, I'd be like, oh, I'm throwing up every day. This is horrendous.
Were you sick with your first 2?
I'm quite a sicky person anyway. I feel like I think more with, do you know what? They are just a blur. Like their pregnancy is just blur into one because the age gap is so tight.
Yeah. Obviously you had a lot going on when you're pregnant with Bodhi as well.
But it's been funny with the kids because even though I was throwing up in the mornings, they're still in having a conversation with me. I'm like, wait a second. And I'm like throwing up and they're going, Mum, can we do this? Can we do Play-Doh? No, wait a second.
You're like, you know, it's in the cupboard, you know where it is. There's been a lot of positive reaction to your pregnancy, but we'll just talk about it very briefly because I want to keep it positive. But we have to talk about these weirdos online that have decided to take umbrage with the fact that you're having another baby.
I know.
Does it taint the experience at all for you? Are you quite good at shutting out the noise?
I'm good at shutting out the noise, but I just think anybody, it does stick with you.
Yeah.
It's like anyone saying a bad comment, like, it is, I just can't believe people actually can be that horrible. That's what I'm shocked about.
Yeah. I had a little read through it and I saw one that really stuck out to me just because of my family setup. Obviously, we've been through nothing like what you guys have. I saw one comment that really stuck out to me because we've been through nothing like what you guys have. But there's one comment that said, like, I can't believe she's saying that Tom's mum is excited to be a nan again. Like, how disrespectful was that? And I was like, not be funny. My auntie and uncle got divorced and my uncle's ex-wife had another baby with her new partner. My nan and granddad buy that child Christmas presents, birthday presents, because they're like, that is our granddaughter's sister. So therefore, she's part of our family. And they'll like pop around to see her and they come around to see her and they're still really close and stuff. And it's exactly the same. Like your baby is going to be their grandchildren's siblings. So of course it's part of their family.
Of course it is. And I just think it is a blended family. But even with Noreen and Nige, they buy my best friend, who's also called Kelsey, they'll buy her, like their kids presents for Christmas. Yeah. So it's blended anyway. We're one big family.
Well, actually, that was my next question. Like, you're about to go into this big blended family. You've got your family, Tom's family, Will's family. You grew up in a blended family. How has that sort of set you up for this big chapter you're about to go on?
It's quite crazy because I never actually thought that I wanted a blended family, but it's just happened to find me. Growing up, I think when you're in a blended family, you don't even think you're blended. No. Like, someone actually commented to my brothers before going, oh yeah, but you're only half brother and sister. And my brothers were like, what? I think when you're in that, you don't think like that because you're like, that's my sister, that's my brother.
I think for a lot of people that I know that are in blended families and like, you know, my granddad's part of a blended family and stuff, it's only other people that are like, oh yeah, but it's only their half brother. Like, they're my siblings. Like I've got friends that like, so we never say step in our house. Like we just say like brothers, sisters. And
and literally if you look at it, all my brothers are my half brothers. I've actually got no full sibling if you want to look at it like that.
But you don't look at it like that, and it's everyone else is so pedantic about details, and you're like, literally, look at, like, sort your own self out, like, sort your own life out.
That's what I mean. Look online how pedantic people are about the smallest of things. I don't know what people actually want me to do because if I don't move on and be happy, and if I was actually at home still in my pajamas, 3 years on, wailing, upset, people go, God, she needs to go over it now, doesn't she? Like,
I like the ones that are like, I'm not going to judge, but. Here we go. But I just think, I like people saying, oh, it's too soon. Like, I nearly started going back at them. I was like, I do not need to add fuel to the fire. But it's like, so is there like a little, where is the book?
Yep.
Where is the book that says, after this happens to you, you must wait this exact number of days, and then you may go out and like.
It's actually quite funny when you look at it, because obviously you are queen of Love Island over there. So it's all right for people to go on a TV show and fall in love after 6 weeks or whatever and get into a relationship, move in. Like, that's all okay. We're actually promoting that on TV. But where I've done that off TV, it's not allowed.
Yeah. Now, let's go back to when you met Tom. You met him when you were 19. Were you quite, like, starstruck when you met him? He's like pop star in a nightclub.
He wasn't anyone.
Ah, okay.
He was just Tom Parker. I met Tom Parker. I didn't meet Tom Parker from The Wanted. I literally met him in a nightclub. He was out with a group of guys, which were The Wanted. I didn't obviously know at the time. YG said to me, "Oh, I'm in a band." And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's lovely.
I went, "Well, what's your band called?" Then he went, "Oh, no, we've not got a name yet." I was like, okay.
What sports and socials club that's going to come and see you at?
Yeah. Well, actually, he did used to be in a Take That tribute band.
Amazing. I'm obsessed with tribute bands.
Yeah.
Like, we go to a place in Spain called Legends, and they have like all different. There's one man that's in Take That, Jersey Boys, and he does Michael Bublé.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been Tom. Yeah. Tom after he actually learnt his trade though. I think getting into like a tribute band.
Yeah.
If you want to be in a band, that is where you'll learn your trade.
Yeah.
You are impersonating someone else, but.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's like learning that sort of, got to be on time, got to do this, like the stamina.
Well, the hard work that goes into it.
So then you went for your first date in Nando's.
Yep.
I love that. I'm obsessed. But what was it like when your relationship was building while he was also, like, his star was rising as well?
It was really tough. It was hard when we first got together, because also I think that what you're meant to be as a pop star.
Yeah.
What you can be, what you're meant to be is like quite different.
Yeah.
I think what always backfired on Tom though was how in the industry I already was.
Yes, because you went to Talia Conti.
I went to Talia Conti. A lot of my friends were doing big things. Obviously, I was acting at the time, so it did used to backfire on him a little bit.
Do you think, obviously you were acting, you'd been to Talia Conti, he was in the band. Do you think sometimes that you, as a lot of women do, like, sacrificed a bit of your career for his?
Absolutely. And I think as well, when you get into, obviously when we got into a real serious relationship, I supported him so much, and he financially earned a lot more money than me, which was really difficult. And I think that is always really hard when you're in a relationship, when someone's earning so much and you're like, well, I'm never going to be able to compete with you. Like, I'm never going to be there, Tom. So can you just look after me?
Yeah.
But yeah, especially when I had the kids, obviously it was all about Tom. But I was quite good as well at the same time. I could have given up everything and just been a groupie and been on the road with him, but I didn't. I did stay, you know, when he went to America, I stayed here. And
because you've got your own drama school, haven't you, as
got
well?
my performing arts school. And also with the acting, you've got to go to auditions, you've got to be doing self-tapes, you've got to be proactive. So I did, he used to be like to me, please come, please come. And I was like, well, one, it is actually a little bit boring. And two, like when they'd actually go on a tour bus, we'd have to share a bunk together. And I'm like, this
Quite
is not
literally a bunk.
Yeah, literally a bunk up together. And I was like, this is not fun. Like, I'm not even sleeping really. We're on a tour bus. Like, it's not as glamorous as what people think it is when you're in it. Yeah. It is actually boring. Like, I know some girls, it would be their dream. And I am grateful for everything I got to experience with Tom. But you're literally going from venue to venue. Like, do you know what it would be as well? I would say to him, oh, I really want to go to Australia. He'd go, I hate Australia. Why do you hate Australia, Tom? I'm like, you've not seen the places. All you've seen is backstage of wherever you were performing.
Have you watched the Celine Dion documentary?
No.
She says in it to her boys, she's like, I've travelled the world, but I've never seen any of it.
That is what the boys were like. They never, you know, the odd time they'll be like, oh, we got to go out and do something. But a lot of the time, you know, they were a manufactured boy band that was on the go, go, go. So they never slept and they were just on to the next city.
I think it's different for boy bands as well. I know, like with One Direction stuff, like if their hotel got leaked, like they just wouldn't be able to leave their rooms. No. And I remember one of the boys putting on Twitter once, and they like, can you please stop phoning our room? Like,
we just want to sleep.
Like, we just want to sleep.
You know what though? The girls, I used to love the presents, the gifts. the gifts the boys got, I'd be like, oh, can I have some of that? Can I have this? Because the gifts were amazing. Like,
did they get a lot of like photo books and stuff like the fans would do?
And we've got all of that at home. I've kept everything that he's had from fans.
Yeah. It's amazing for the kids.
Jay, when he lived in one of the flats when they all lived together, Jay said to the fans that he liked Skittles. He had a whole drawer, a chest of drawer of Skittles. He tipped all the packs up and he just had Skittles in a drawer. That's how many. Yeah.
The dream, the absolute dream. Now, I'm sure you had big plans for your life with Tom, as we all do. Like, you know, I got married last year and you think like, oh yeah, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. What did yours and Tom's life look like to you as a couple, like in the future?
Well, we was going to have more kids. I always wanted 4 children. And, you know, me and Tom got along so well. So I could just imagine us being on that park bench eating our fish and chips or whatever together and growing old together. But I think that is the lesson I've learnt from life.
Yeah.
That
you don't know what's around the corner.
And Tom said it in an interview. He said, we're not all promised tomorrow, so you just got to live for today. And that is the truth of everything, because you don't know what's around the corner. I never knew. You know, even when I found out I was having Bodhi, we went and did a gender test for him and found out was having a boy. And I was like, what? Like, literally, I remember my best friend Gemma ringing me being like, you are literally the perfect family. Like, as if there's you two, he's got your girl and now you've got a boy. Like, how perfect can that be? And then it was all taken away from me.
Yeah. Did you feel like you grieved that, like that? Because you didn't just lose Tom, you lost like that, like future as well. Did you grieve that while he was ill, or did it sort of, were you so in the moment while he was ill? And sort of like always, I know you said before, like we always thought like he's going to get better, he's going to get better, he's going to get better. And then as soon as obviously he passed away, then it was like, oh, and also our whole life's gone as well. Or did you grieve it while you were in the moment?
I think when he got diagnosed, the feeling was like, oh my God, what has happened to our family? Yeah. But a feeling that I would hopefully never, ever experience again. But like that, it was just awful experience. But I think when he was actually ill, my priority was never, I always thought he was going to get better and that he was going to be here. And he believed that too. And I think because we were so positive and we called ourselves the Positive Parkers, that kept us together as a family.
Mm-hmm. And just like no room for negativity. I'm very into my manifesting stuff.
But, you know, it was even giving birth to Bodhi. That was just a horrendous experience. That it was COVID. Tom was allowed to come into the hospital with me, but literally we went into a room and could not leave the room. But you could see the midwives as well, because they couldn't, obviously with having a brain tumour, you couldn't see that about Tom. So Tom's there with like his jacket on and his hat, and he looks like a bit of a bad boy.
Yeah.
And you could see this midwife giving like attitude to be like, you're not coming in here. And I was like, no, he is. He has got to come in. But obviously the only reason he had the cap on was because he shaved his hair, because he was losing it. And he came in, and obviously we wasn't allowed to actually leave this room because he was actually the vulnerable one.
Yeah, that must have been so difficult, because I know how vulnerable you feel anyway after. I mean, I was pressing that button every 5 minutes. Like, and then when we went home, I was like, oh my God, there's no button at home. So I can't press a button. So it must have been so hard. Obviously, after Tom passed away, you have been lucky enough to meet Will.
Yeah.
How did you two meet?
We just met how? Like, it was...
Really organic, amazing.
Yeah. I was so scared because I've had some experiences of meeting people out and how people react to me being a widow. It's weird, isn't it? But I also didn't want to go on to like Tinder or anything like that, because I met Tom when I was 19 out.
Yeah.
I'd missed that whole dating, meeting people on apps and whatever else. So, you know, even a lot of journalists were going to me like, are you going to get on there? I was thinking, well, that's the reason why I'm not going to get on there, because you want me on there. But also, like, I flicked through my friends and I was like, I just cannot do this. Like,
At least it's better now because there's more people on it. I remember when they first came out, I'd be like sat with my friends. I'd be like, so I'm talking to this guy on like one of the apps. And she'd be like, oh yeah, I'm talking to him as well, because we live in quite a small town as well. So there was about like 20 guys on there. So everyone was just talking to the same people.
Do you know what? I think each their own, and you've got to do what works for you. But for me, that was not a place where I could be
more organic. And you met lovely Will. What's it like for him to be like sort of thrust into the public eye? Because obviously you and Tom did that together.
Yeah.
Will, it's obviously like ta-da.
Yeah.
And now he's in the public eye.
Well, I did warn him. I warned him of everything. And I just seem to warn these people and they don't actually believe me of what it's like. But I don't think you can believe it until you're in it and you go, oh my God, yeah, it is a lot.
I always say this about Love Island, they give you like a chat after, like before you go in about like
your
your life's going to change, this is going to change. And you're like, yeah, cool, nice one. Oh yeah, don't worry. I can definitely deal with people being nasty to me online. And then you get out and it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah, and you're shocked, aren't you? Yeah. And you're like, wow. The thing is, Will, he doesn't actually look at any of it, so he doesn't care about that. But my mum was laughing the other day because she went, I think the one thing Will would change about you is your job and your career. And I was like, yeah, you are probably right on that one.
Yeah. Now, his dad died when he was 21. Is that something that he's been able to bond with your kids over?
Yeah, they do bond over it. And I think it's nice for the kids to hear that.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I mean, we are like a bit of the doom and gloom family, but in the nicest possible.
Parker.
Yeah, to do with boom. Well, we say, we'll say that they're in the I've got to do it. The DDC, the Dead Dad Club. It's like, well, they aren't they? They're both, Will and Ray and Bo have all got no dad.
So I was reading,
I'm sort of in that.
Yeah.
He's dead to me.
You're like you're in like your own little franchise outside. I was actually reading, there's another family, the Nuttall, and their daughter died of a brain tumour.
Yeah.
And they talked about Tom in their book, and because he like met Laura a couple of times and stuff, and her sister and another guy have started the Dead Sibling Society podcast.
Yeah.
Because they were saying that nobody talks about death.
They don't.
Well, they don't. See, my dad's a funeral director, so I've grown up around it. And it's so normal to talk about it in like my family. So then when I like openly talk about death with people and stuff, they're like, what? And like, I mean, once on our family group chat, my brother texts like, I don't know if I've ever told any of you this before, but I love this song. I definitely went at my funerals. And we were all sending in like different funeral songs and stuff and what we want. And I was like, yeah, I want the sad EastEnders theme tune as the curtains close and stuff. And like, you know, so I want this, I want like everyone in black, like veils, like we're crying and stuff. And I then like scrolled back through it and I was like, this is only the group chat of a family of funeral directors.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone else is so like terrified to talk about it. Whereas to us, it's literally.
But it's normal to you.
Yeah.
And in our house, it's normal because we've all lived the experience together.
Yeah.
So we know how it feels. Also, Will's brother had cancer as well. So he has lived that experience. So he knows everything that we've been through.
And he talks about Tom openly with the kids, doesn't he? Like to keep his memory alive, which like they said, the dead live on the lips of the living.
Yeah.
Because I always used to get really quite scared about, I had a friend of mine from my theatre company, he like literally had a heart attack and died very suddenly. He was only like 61, which obviously is a great age compared to Tom, but he was in my dream one night after his daughter-in-law and his son, who are friends of mine, got engaged. I had a dream 2 nights later and he was in it and he was like, is it amazing that I'm getting engaged, all this to me. And I never told his wife about it. And then I had a few too many wines at a wedding and I told her about it. And she was like, why didn't you tell me before? Like, I would have loved to have heard that. And I said like, oh, I didn't like it. And she's like, no, I love it when people talk about him.
And that's what I think people are so scared of. They're scared, like I say, people used to cross the road and people didn't want to talk to me. But I'm happy when I'm talking about Tom. So why wouldn't I want to have a conversation about it? And I love all of that. So I would be like, oh yeah, tell me your dream. Tell me what happened.
Tell me your dream. I went to a medium once actually, and she kept saying to me, who's Andrew? Who's Andrew? And this guy who was called Andy, to me, but obviously his full name's Andrew. Who's Andrew? I was like, well, my uncle, but he's still alive. Like I was going through, and then I realised it was him, and I was like, oh my god! Like again, I literally like text his daughter-in-law, like, oh my god, I've just been to see a medium, and Andy came to see me.
He's come through.
But yeah, have you been to like a medium at all?
Oh, I'm obsessed. I go all the time.
Have you been to Mandy Masters? No. You need to go to Mandy Masters. She's amazing. I'm just the spirit talkers and everything. But she's called to heaven. And bearing in mind, my granny had died before I was in the public eye. So there's no video. Like my nan, there's a video, she's still alive. There's videos everywhere of her online, all over my Facebook, my Instagram and stuff. My granny, like nothing. And she did a call to heaven and she spoke with my granny's voice. Really, like, and my granny's mannerisms. It was so strange, but amazing.
Yeah, Tom always comes through so strong. And then I had a reading actually before all of, like, I announced the pregnancy. And
am I going to get hate online?
He said Tom was worried. She said he's not very happy with the response, what the response is going to be. Because he would have hated, like, one person saying a bad thing about me, let alone all these trolls online. And then she was going, I'm really sorry. She's going, he's really strong. And he's, like, being really, like, naggy at me. And I was laughing. She was like, oh, no, I don't want you to, like, get upset. I was like, no. I was like, that's exactly Tom. Because he was coming up with business ideas and everything for me. I mean, he is just next level. But
I love that.
Even from the other side, he's still telling me. But that's what she said. That what's so hard is people so upset when you lose someone, but they're still here.
Yeah.
They're just in a different place.
And I think what people need to remember is, because I know a lot of people will put the comments and stuff and they'll say it from a place of like, I was just a massive fan of Tom and I just don't like that you've done this and stuff. Would Tom want you to be nasty to his wife online? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't like that.
He would have hated it. And also he would have gone in on everyone. Yeah. No, like you wanted to comment. Tom would have commented. He would not have given a shit. And he would have gone in. And he would have probably made every newspaper.
Yeah.
Because he actually wouldn't have cared, because he'd been like, no, you don't say anything about Kels.
Yeah, exactly. And people just don't see the bigger picture. And I think it's like with anything. It's like when people are really nasty to other people online in the name of someone else. It's like, would you think that person would actually want you to be nasty in their name? No, they wouldn't.
No.
It's, yeah. What other signs have you had from Tom?
Honestly, I get to them all the time. All the time. TV's going off, car alarms going off.
Oh my God.
A lot of electrics.
Yeah.
And this medium said to me, oh, he connects you through electrics. I'm like, yeah, no, I know.
You don't need to tell me that.
You don't need to tell me that. But I'm not scared. Some people get frightened of it, but I love it. I'm like, yes, send me more, Tom.
Yeah, I love it. I like, my dad's best friend died and there's like a little robin in the garden. He's like, it's Darren. It's Darren in the garden again.
Yeah. But people believe in obviously the birds or...
Yeah.
But ours is electrics.
I love that. What kind of parent are you?
Oh, I don't know what kind of parent I am.
You said to me before you don't do baby talk.
I don't do the baby talk. I'm very honest and open, I would say.
You've had to be.
Yeah. But my mum's always been like that with me. And I think a lot of my friends growing up used to come to my mum because they couldn't talk to their parents about certain things. So I think I've been like, my mum, if you asked her anything, she would tell you the truth. She's never lied. So you can take what you want from that. But my friends used to come and then also used to tell my mum stuff that what was happening at school.
Yeah.
And then she would then think that I was up to that.
Yeah, I'm an innocent party.
I'm an innocent person, Mum, but I don't know. My mum has always been very honest, open. And I think if your kids have got questions, then you should answer them and don't really beat around the bush, because then they're going to go and find facts from someone else.
Exactly. Are you quite laid back or are you quite regimented?
I am quite laid back, but if I want something done, with like bedtimes, we're going to bed and that's it. But Will does call me a caver. He says that I cave. But then also I'm like to him, you have to pick your battles.
This is what I keep trying to tell my mum, and my mum keeps saying to me, you need to stop giving in to him. You need to stop giving in to him. I'm like, Mum, number one, he's not even 2 yet. He doesn't know I'm giving in to him. Yeah. Number two, like, you've got to pick your battles. Like, is it really an issue? Is it an issue?
Is it an issue?
Is it an issue?
Is this going to come back to bite me on the bum?
Probably, yes. Yeah, like, now, I hear Aurelia is very into her performing. Do we think she's going to follow in the family footsteps?
I would be shocked if she didn't. I've turned terrible. We're like working towards like West End in the next couple of years.
Matilda?
Yeah.
I love Matilda. My friend was Mrs. Wormwood for like 7 years.
Really?
I've seen it so many times. But yeah.
She is like Matilda all day long.
See, they always say that Matilda is like quirky and then Lavender is crazy.
Yeah.
So they always say like the little girl, either a Matilda or a Lavender.
Aurelia is definitely the crazy one, but I'm hoping that she would be a Matilda.
Because like, final bow and all that.
Yeah, that's why you've got to be the lead. If we're going this, you're going.
Are you like a cross between like Abby Lee Miller, but also one of the dance mums together? Because you're the teacher and the mum.
Yeah. No, and she hates it. She's 5, and so in the summer she had a gymnastics competition, but I had my friend's hen do. So that was on the Saturday night. On the Sunday, she had the gymnastics comp. So my mum was like, "Oh, I'll take her to the comp. Don't worry about it. You can have a lay-in." So I've messaged my mum like, "How did she get on in the comp?" She went, "She's won it." Oh, I felt terrible. It was a terrible mum moment. She was like, "Oh no, I should have got up and gone." Well, then they asked her to join the gymnastics squad. So she actually trains 3 times a week already for gymnastics.
It's a busy one, isn't it?
But she loves it. She loves, even in the comp, she doesn't do one of the classes on a Monday because she does gymnastics. She's like, "Why am I not in that dance?" I'm like, "Because you don't do that class." She can't believe it. Why is she not in that dance?
My mum's the teacher.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Can't you just add me into this?
These are the perks that I'm supposed to have when I have my mum as the teacher. So what's next for you? So the next year of your life, obviously you're going to become mum again. What's that going to look like for you?
It's going to be crazy, isn't it? And I feel like I planned baby at a good time. Well, we're sort of planned, but I'm due on Aurelia's birthday.
Right, nice.
June 30th. But they break up from school on July the 4th.
Nice. You've got like a little time of...
So if the baby's a bit late, it sort of will work out good. If baby's early, I'll have a bit of a school run, but I feel like we can all get that chill together for a couple of months. And then I'll be back into the thick of school run.
Yeah. This thing, I keep thinking, I can't wait to have another baby. And then I'm like, hang on, I can't just lie on the sofa all day.
No.
Like I did last time.
And you actually can't.
Yeah.
You actually can't. With this one, I said to my mum, I was like, the baby's going to literally have to come everywhere with me and be like out of routine of what I would have put a baby into a routine. So yeah, I'm excited though. And I can't wait. And I can't wait for the children to be big brother and big sister. I think they're going to love it. And also to see how...
And they're at an age now, aren't they, where they can actually help out with stuff.
That's why I'm a little bit scared. For Aurelia, I'm actually scared because she's actually going to think she's the mum of the baby. She's like, "Can the baby just come now?" I'm like, "We've still got a little wait. Still cooking." Yeah.
And she's obviously, when the age gap is so small between her and Bodhi, she probably forgets that when the baby comes, they don't really do anything.
Yeah. But she obviously is such a great big sister to him. But like you said, because that age gap is so small, they've never really known life without each other. I think it's going to be so different for them to have a sibling.
Yeah.
Because they've only had each other and they are so close.
But yeah, 3 is the magic number. But maybe 4. Let's manifest it.
The medium did say there could be another one. I was like, I don't think so. I don't actually like being pregnant either.
Do you not? I loved it.
What did you love about it? Tell me, what did you love?
For the first time since I was about 14, I didn't have to count calories, so I could have 3 hot chocolates a day, and that's it. That is it, basically.
Well, that's what you liked about it?
I loved eating.
What else? Anything else?
I loved having an excuse to go for a nap. I've always had a little...
you won't ask me the second time.
I've always
you can't go and have the nap.
But I think my main thing I loved was I've always had a little belly. Even when I was super, super skinny, went on to Love Island, I've always had that little pouch. Yeah. Mum's got it, my auntie's got it, my nan's got it, my cousins have all got it. So literally, as soon as I announced, I wore exclusively spandex from the day I announced, the day I gave birth. Because I was like, look how massive my bump is. I'm just literally nothing baggy because I loved having...
So funny. I was just having this conversation because my manager's pregnant. Yeah. And I said, this is the best time because you wear tight clothes. Yeah. You'd never, ever wear tight clothes. I would wear baggy and be like, "Oh, I've got the same." That. Yeah. The rubber ring that you can't get rid of.
And people used to say to me when I had Stanley, and I'd be like, "Oh, I've got nothing to wear," and they used to be like, "Just wear your maternity clothes." Like, I've just got a selection of poly dresses in every different colour. I cannot wear them now. I'm not gonna. Isn't it weird though that and obviously everyone can wear what they want, but for me personally, it was literally in the space of 12 hours, I went from oh my God, look how amazing I look in this spandex dress to, oh my God, I can never wear spandex ever again until I get pregnant again.
No, and do you know what it was? When I had Aurelia, it was when I came home from the hospital and my brothers came round. I'm trying to think of how old they were. They must have been about 17 and 15, or maybe a bit younger. And they were horrified with me because they went, why does your stomach still look like that? What did you expect her to fall out and then be like snatched it? I was like, it's going to take a little while for my stomach to actually go back. They were disgusted when they looked at me. They were like, oh. I was like, yes, this is being a mum. And
Yeah.
I had preeclampsia with Aurelia. So, I mean, Tom used to actually call me Princess Fiona from Shrek.
Oh, what? Because
and
you were
she said-
so like
the
fluid,
ogre, the ogre.
fluid
Not the
feel.
nice
Yeah.
Fiona, the actual green.
The ochre. Well, because you had so much fluid.
No, you've never seen anything like it. My legs were like out here, my feet. I was in so much pain, but I didn't know how much pain I was in until I had Bodhi. Because I thought that was actually a normal pregnancy. I thought, oh, this is what you're meant to feel like. You're pregnant, surely you're not meant to feel great. But I felt horrendous and didn't realise how horrendous I actually felt until I had another one.
God, amazing. Well,
Everyone, go and have a baby because it's so great.
just on the medium thing though, I'm like, yeah, go and see this medium. She's amazing. You know, she predicted that I was going to meet a Capricorn with kind eyes. It was going to be older and stuff. But the one thing that I choose to not believe is that she said I was only going to have 2 children.
Well, how many do you want?
I'd love 4.
So that's where you're manifesting.
But yeah, triplets. I'm like, does she mean 2 pregnancies? 2 pregnancies?
Yes, that's what.
But yeah, so I just choose to ignore that bit of information. I'm like, everything else is definitely true, apart from that bit.
How many are you? One of what?
One of 2, but I just want a big busy house. Like my mum and dad's house, it's just like there's always people coming in and out. Like my best friend ended up living with them for 14 months. He's like an adopted son now. And there's just always people and nobody knocks on the front door. Everyone just like walks straight into the house. Like it's, yeah.
That's
crazy.
what my house is like.
Yeah.
Like literally in my old house, I had a back door and no one used my front door. Everyone came through my back door.
Yeah.
And they'd just turn up and all right.
Yeah, that's literally our house.
Yeah.
But that's what I want. But thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to see your little one when it's born and to see how everything pans out for you.
Thank you.
That's it for Amy Hart's Mums Club this week. A massive thank you to Kelsey Parker. Don't forget, if you want to stay up to date with the podcast, you can follow me at Amy Hart XO on Instagram or at Amy Hart on TikTok and follow the podcast at Amy Hart's Mums Club on Instagram. And don't forget, if you have any burning questions that you want me and my guests to answer, please email them to amyhartsmumsclub@news.co.uk and I will see you next time.